and welcome along. This is Virtual Farmer, and today we are having a look at Schwesing Bahnhof. This is a 4X map for Farming Simulator 25. It is only available on PC as a result, and we are starting off in the main farm here by the looks of things. It is by LazZlow. And it has a huge number of required mods. So if you're going to use this map and you've not got a very fast internet connection, you're going to be downloading a lot of mods. It has a total of 16 required mods, this map, which is quite a large amount to have to download. But it is a big map and it is very, very customizable. This map has 18 customizable farms on it, all of which all the buildings can be sold and can be redesigned. So let's have a quick look at the PDA, and we can see on here that there are, well, there's 255 fields. Only 242 of those are purchasable though, and the price range, the cheapest one I found was Field 65 or Farmland 65 at just 20,000. The most expensive was up here at the top, which was 22, which is just under $1 million. So it's not an overly expensive map. In fact, here we go. I missed one. We've got Farmland 30 is the most expensive at just over $1 million. But there's nothing really that is overly expensive. Everything is sort of in the mid-range. 500,000 seems to be a very common sort of price range for fields on here. But you can see there are lots of smaller ones as well. So there is plenty of space which to set your farm up on here. As far as productions go, though, this map is very thin on the ground. You've got several digestate and BGA related items here, but there's no sawmill, and in fact there's nothing else at all. So this is a map where you are going to have to place your own productions. It does worry me between the required mods for this map and the lack of productions. How much character is going to be available on it, and how much it's going to have for that. But I think we should jump in the Skoda here and have a drive around and find out. So let's get it started. And so we'll head out of here. This is the main yard here. In fact, we'll drive into the main yard a little bit. The BGA seems to be all built into the main yard as well. It doesn't look like we've got a separate BGA area at the moment. We've got a couple of large silage camps over here, including some fairly open ones. Those are quite nice. I think those, I don't know if those are built into the map or those are a mod that's been one of the required mods. But it is quite a nice looking map from that point of view. In fact, yeah, the main farm seems to be a BGA that you start off with. And you can see on the map in the bottom left-hand corner that it has one. So I think all of the numbers, all of the farmlands are numbered on here. So we're going to come up to the main road here. And we're going to go around in a counterclockwise direction. We're going to head out of here and up to the right. I want to head so that we can go and check out the area up top. We have a working train in the middle of this map, so that's quite an intriguing bit built in. We've got another farmland there, so I don't think we're going to be able to visit all the farmlands, although we will drive around this whole thing. I do like this raised road. This is really nice. And there's definitely a different feeling to this map than I've had with other ones. So it's beginning to win me over. I really wasn't sure I was going to like this map at all. But I'm not actually. It's very different to many other maps that I've done tours of and driven around. So I'm beginning to like this. I think as a really big multiplayer, with this many farms on here, 18 farms, you could have a full server, everybody having their own farm, and still have 2 farms spare. So that is pretty amazing. I quite like that side of things. Of course, it's not cross-play, unfortunately. And up here we have got farm number 3. There is a surprising amount of character to this map. I think the detail in the farmyards is a little bit samey, I think, but that's not too awful. It is one of the issues I think that a lot of people find, or that certainly I find with 4X maps, is that they can lack detail. There's so much area for stuff to be put in that and especially where you've got a lot of farms like this, you can end up lacking a bit of detail. But to be honest, I'm not feeling that too much with this. I think as we go round the yards, we will see a little bit more whether that is the case. And certainly that the yard we went through there, yard 3, did feel a little bit unfinished. I also feel we may get a little bit lost on this map, but we're going to head down here and down and round. The other thing about a map this size, of course, is it can take a while to get around everything. And here's a little bit of detail that isn't on the map otherwise. Looks like we've got a horse area in there. So I think a lot of the land here is purchasable with stuff, or bits are purchasable with the land, which is very good. We are heading down here. Do you know what? There is a really nice amount of detail on this map. Really nice amount of detail. A lot of variety to it that just makes it doesn't fall into that trap that I've seen with a few 4X maps before. So I'm liking this. There's a lot of character to it. There's a lot of detail to it, and there's a lot of variation to it as well. Now, if we come up to here, yeah, we want to head down this way because we're looking. Whoa, stay on the road. We're looking to hit this area over here. Now, with a lack of productions on this map, I'm guessing a lot of these places that we're seeing marked on it are actual farmlands, and yet this is exactly that. So we've got a roadway off here into a farmyard. Nice looking house there. Zoom in a little bit, and oh, this is nestled in there quite nicely. That is marked as a farm, but I think that might be a sell point as well, interestingly. What is that? Yeah, that's the farmer's market. So yeah, this is marked as a farm, but it is also a sell point for the farmer's market. And down here are these greenhouses that you can use. Yeah, I think if you buy this farmland, these are your greenhouses as well. And we've got a field over here for goats, or what is that in there? That's cows. So this is a cow field. This is a beef cow field as well. So yeah, there's the sell points seem to be mixed into the farms as well. Not sure if I'm a huge fan of that. It means that if you it gives you a bit of advantage if you buy here and get these greenhouses, because you're then going to be in a position where you can very quickly sell your stuff. And it's a little bit weird having the farmers market away from houses and town and everything, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's an interesting way of doing it. It does feel a little bit out of the way here. We seem to have a little bit of a what I would call this is worked grass. I thought that I might have a roadway down the side of the field here, but not so much. And no, it is. There is what appears to be a roadway here in cut grass. I think I'd like to have seen that as a dirt track. It's going to, I think it's going to come back, grow back up, and sort of these roads disappear maybe. Although I'm never quite sure with placing the short grass, but yeah, the roadways look a little bit unmarked as a result. It's just these sort of these raised bits of grass that have been driven either side of. But that does bring us into farm 17. Again, we've got a large slurry pit here. We've got a lot of silage clamps. We've got some very large barns. In fact, that's a cow barn, isn't it? Yeah. And we got cows out of here. So if you buy any of these farms, you actually get animals included with them. Consulting my map again to work out where I am, and yeah, we want to head to the right out of here, or the left out of here, sorry, in order to get along and get to the next area. Got a lot of windmills in the background, but I think they're dressing at the side of this map, and instead we'll head along here and into this area here, which is a sell point. So in fact, no, this is a production, which is very odd. I think, is this a sell point? No, this is a sell point. I don't know. What is this for? Oh no, this is a warehouse. Interestingly, so we do have a warehouse on here. That's quite nice, and you can purchase stuff, and it's on the side of the main road. So the positioning of it, I quite like that. That works well. These 4x maps, you can really get lost in them if you're not careful. I'm avid, and so pulling up this map a lot in this tour, just to make sure that I'm not taking the wrong route or going off the wrong way or anything like that, because it is so big and you can get so lost on these maps. What I will say is, I think that if I was playing this, I wouldn't get lost so much. You very quickly, I think, you get to know which part of the map you're in. There's no part while I'm driving around this where I've actually gone, oh, this looks like another part of it. I've done that with some 4x maps before, but this feels very unique the whole way around. So we have sugar mill here. Now, this is really interesting to me. The sugar mill, this should be a production, and yet it isn't. And I'm wondering, actually, instead of a lack of productions on this map, do you have to buy the areas, or is it just a case of there is a sell point here and the productions have been removed from these? I'm down the bottom, and yeah, there is nothing else here. Can I purchase this? I can't purchase this land. So this is weird. This is, to me, this is a really weird choice on this map. That should be a production, and it isn't. And you can't buy the land, so it's only a sell point. I don't think I like that. I think that's slightly worse than not putting the production in at all. I would, oh no, I'm not a fan of that. I would much rather that the actual production was in there and that was available on the map, rather than it being, rather than the production being stripped of everything and just turned into a sell point. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, especially on a map that doesn't have or has so few productions built into it. The idea of pulling the productions out purposefully feels very wrong. I'm not a fan of that at all. Right, we are coming up to farm 16 now, which again is actually really nicely put together. This looks to be a stable, and in fact we can't get into the yard without opening the gates. Open very nicely. Take us in here. It is well put together. Again, loving the fences, loving the hedges. We've got a heavy cattle presence here again. Although, yeah, we've got a heavy cattle presence with quite a big slurry pit and a manure pit and everything. Some nice sheds and everything. So the farmyards here, for the most part, do seem to be well constructed. I will give it that. They are very unique and very interesting places. And yeah, the uniqueness on here is really intriguing me. What I need to do actually is we need to do our normal level of detail test. In fact, farmyard 15 right here, I think is going to give us a choice or a possibility to do that. If we come in here and park, so this looks to be sort of a local sports center. Yeah, we've got a football pitch and we've got a playground and everything, and this is very idyllic in the middle of it. So there's a really nice attention to detail there, but the attention to detail I really want to have a look at is what is happening in the forestry, and we've got a nice level of detail under here, which is impressive. Yeah, plenty of work done under here to make sure that that is nicely detailed. So happy with that. This is this two houses together or just one? I can't tell, but it is a farmland. It looks to be a stables area. Nowhere to really store any equipment or anything, which is interesting. But again, it does have a slurry pit. So, I'm not sure I would call that a farmyard, but it does have animals there, and there is space to work. So I suppose in the Vegas sense of it, as a sort of a satellite yard, you could have it. This map really is tearing me, because I'm the uniqueness and the detail on it actually is pretty high. There's a few things that just are niggling me a bit. The productions thing niggles me in general with mod maps. I'm very much hoping that side of things is in more maps, and a map that has them now, I'm beginning to realize is one that is a really sort of high quality map that's thought about that level of gameplay. I'm not a fan of these grass roads. I think the road, it's very hard to see the definition of roads on the farm when they're done in this way. We've got an area here that outputs something. I can't see what that is. We've got a track around the edge, out to the field. If that actually has cows come down it, that is really good. Don't know where this goes to. Does this just go around the back of this shed? Oh, maybe it connects the two fields. That would be pretty amazing if this is a track between the two fields that is actually used by the cows on here. You see, this is the thing. There are some pretty amazing features on this map. There's some stuff that is done incredibly nicely, and yeah, is just some really good thoughts. There's a huge amount of animals on here. I mean, we've got another farmyard over there. That's farmyard 13 over that way. We're gonna go down and check out the cluster at the far end of the map from here. So that is this road here. So there are a lot of farms They all seem to have been very uniquely configured. The roads feel very unique and interesting. There's a huge amount of detail on here. The only thing I think that's letting this map down is the lack of productions, and it does seem to be a very conscious choice that it's not going to have productions, because as I said, with the sugar mill there, that feels very much like productions have been removed from that just to make it a general sell point, rather than actually putting a sugar mill sell point in. So I wonder if that, well, pretty much know that there are no other productions in here. So is that the case with other sell points that we have around here, or is that the case with or is that something that is it's just a unique building was needed? And I think I know the answer driving into this place. This is a dairy, and the dairy doesn't have it either. Yeah, the dairy has had all its production stripped off and is a sell point. I'm kind of wondering if something's gone wrong here on this. There is a mod that was included in the download on here that is placeable triggers, I think. Yeah, addable triggers mod by Farmer5Tom is a mod that was added on here as part of the required mods, and that adds productions in. So I'm actually slightly surprised that we don't have productions on this map. That is very strange. But the dairy, again, it doesn't have, it's only a sell point. And if we come around here, we've got a bale sell point. We've got is this the animal market, or is that an area for? No, that is a cow barn. So this is, I think this is another farmyard. Yeah, this is another farmyard we've got in here. So this must be bale storage then, I'm guessing. Or is it? No, that is a bale sell point. That's really interesting. This is a selling point, but this is not an animal market, I don't think. Oh no, this is an animal market. That's exactly what this is. Okay. Yeah. Although, yeah, I have no pens. So yeah, this is an animal market. So we can buy and sell animals here. That's exactly what this is. Sell point then in there for bales. I don't know how I feel about this at the moment. I think this would make, as I said, I think if you are looking for a map where everybody can have their own farm and you have a lot of choice and you have choice left over, so people can come and choose their farm and everybody has choice still. This is a great map for that. The ground on the yards, I'm not sure about. It seems very, I don't know, the yards vary between really nicely detailed and kind of slightly unfinished, if I'm honest. There's that mix between them. There's plenty of them, but they yeah, I think some of them feel a little rushed, I think, is probably my how I'd describe them. They're not bad per se, but I think it feels like they're the ones that got done later on, driving around here. If we come up here, we've got another yard here. Yeah, whereas this one, immediately driving into it, feels like one that's had a little more attention to it. Quite like this yard. This is a nice looking yard. Plenty of space, some good buildings. Yeah. Some of these yards are really well thought out and really lovely. And I think if you're doing a multiplayer, those are going to be the ones that go first. There is plenty of space for everybody to fan out on here and get their own little space. Let's have a look here. Where are we? We're right up the corner here. So we're going to have to kind of turn back on ourselves because we have got some stuff down the bottom here to have a look at. And you can tell that I can tell this is 4X map partly because it is taking quite a while to get around the whole map. This is a slightly longer first look because of that. And in fact, I think there's an area to the south of us that's got several bits in, but I'm trying to see at the moment exactly how to get down there. I think there might be a roadway over here. Yeah. Yes, down here. So this looks, I really wanted to get down here because this looks like a bit more of an industrial area. Does look like a sell point. As I said, we know it's not a production, but with these industrial areas, I always kind of hope that this is the kind of place where these get put in. And so this is a rail yard building by the looks of things. Again, really nicely detailed. A lot of nice detail this, but it's all sort of, is this the building that needs to be? No, this is a grain elevator. CCHB Group Cooperative Hope Baileron. Yeah, this is the this is a sell point. A sell point grain mill and another bale sell point here. Oh, I don't know exactly how I'm, yeah, that again, perfect place for a production to have gone in there. And the same I think might be true around here. What is this? This is a sawmill. No, this is a sawmill, and it's a selling point sawmill. Everything on here is a selling point. There's no movement forward. I'm slightly concerned. Is there a sell point for produced stuff? There is. I mean, you've got the farmer's market, which we've seen. So you can produce stuff, but it looks like a lot of the stuff that would go through productions all sells at the farmer's market. Yeah. We do have a sawmill, but which is where we are now, that takes things like planks, but you don't have anywhere to produce them. Yeah, I really kind of wish that on a map this size, though, there's space to put these productions in, and they're not here, unfortunately, which is sad. I think on something this big, there should be space for that, and the fact that it isn't is always a little bit of a markdown for me. So we're gonna head up this way, and I think actually we want to bring ourselves back round and head back into the center where our farm is. We've only made it about 3/4 of the way through this map, pretty amazingly, and it does go on, and it is, well, this is the thing of a 4X map. It really goes on and around, and I think things like the starting equipment and things are a little bit less important on a map like this, because you are looking really to do multiplayer on this kind of map. Big 4x map, perfect for multiplayer. Really sort of strikes me. There's another farm down that way. I'm not going to look at every single farm on here. There are so many farms, and it does seem from what we've seen that there is this variation between them. So if you do want to do multiplayer, I suggest going around and checking the farms out. Some of them definitely feel better yards than others. And yeah, this has got this stubble destruction built in. It has its multi-terrain angle, which I think is the first map I've seen come out which is MTA. Yeah, lots of selling stations, including rentable train selling stations. But oh yeah, these again, we're in a section of farmland of farms here. So lots of farms in the middle here. We've got 4 farms in very short areas. Every farm on here seems to come with cows. Every single farm seems to have cows built into it and nothing else, interestingly. Of course, we've not visited every single farm, but it certainly feels like that. We've got a selling point there as we come through the middle. So again, that's the interesting thing about that, is that area we've just driven through where we have 4 farms. To me, that is a perfect area to have a spinnery and, you know, a few production pieces and places like that. And 4 farms in a very small area feels a little bit weird. So I'm not sure about some of the arrangements around here on everything. Again, we've got another area just off to the side. Our dog is sitting in the middle of the road. We've got a wow, that is a lot of space for doing silage. I think there's a heavy lean on cow and silage on this map as well. It's quite an interesting map, this. You can see where the creators' thoughts and their where they kind of want to play is based, because it is a very heavy silage and cow based 4x map, this. And I think that is a little bit reflected in the fact that we start off with a very big slurry spreader here as well. Nice little 6R. I think we should go through the equipment and see what we've got. So vehicles, we've got an Agromass POV5 XL plow, an Amazon Precia 4500-2C super planter, an Amazon ZA-TS 3200 spreader, a Class Heavy and 450 combine, a Class Vario 620 header for it, a Fairsin PF 2.24 plus feeder, a FarmTech DPW 1800 flatbed trailer, Flegel PFW 18,000 maxi line plus slurry spreader, a Horsch Credo 3 power harrow and a Horsch Versa plant cedar, a Hardy Mega 1200L sprayer and front tank, a John Deere 3650, a John Deere 6R155, a John Deere pickup 900 weight, a Krone Ventro 820 Highland Tedder, a Cramp Big Body 750S trailer, a Karcher pressure washer, a Lemkin Samrad 9/500K cultivator, a Magicide bale fork and manure fork, a Merlot multi-farmer, Nardi header trailer, Pottinger Faro 4010D forage wagon, Rudolph DK 280 RP dolly trailer, Sam's KDF 341S front mower, and the XT390 rear mower, and then a Sam's Z2-840H windrower, and then the Skoda Kodak RS that we've been driving around in. So that's a good amount of equipment. I think that's great kind of equipment for starting yourself off with a cattle farm, a dairy farm on here. And looks like we've got we've got a load of calves in here. So this is sort of a calf pen. So it does have calf pens and things in it as well. So there's it's an interesting map, this. It's got a lot of nice variation for a 4X map. There's a lot of detail all over the place, and a lot of uniqueness to it. On the other hand, it feels like a couple of the yards are a little bit unfinished, which is not overly surprising on a 4X map with so many farms built into it. And I think it does suffer from its lack of productions, and could do with a few more bits on that. Otherwise, I think if you're looking for a huge map that will allow you you and 15 of your friends to have your own farms, then this is a great map for you, and I would go and check it out. It is available on the modhub. It is available for PC only because it is a 4X map. But if that is the kind of map you're after, go check it out. Thank you for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Huge thank you as well to all of my patrons and channel members. These videos are only made possible thanks to your support. If you want more from Virtual Farmer, please check out the videos on screen now, or subscribe for more. And I will see you next time.